Hi friends, it's Velvet. Today I am here just to do a craft. I thought I would start trying to use things that I never use, and that is some of these awesome tags that I've bought and just things that I've bought to use and I haven't used. I've got a ton of chipboard that I never use, so I thought I'd grab these two things, a tag and some chipboard, and see if we can use them. So if you want to play along, grab something that you never use. If you've got some chipboard that you never use, grab it. Go ahead, pause this, I'll wait. So yeah, this chipboard is from Stamperia. It's actually pretty new to me. I think I got it from a cherry on top, and it was in clearance or one of those daily deals that they do. This is Cuts and Scraps, and I want something that's going to be size appropriate for this tag. So I had been looking at this and I thought this one might be good. So I am going to poke out these pieces. I would keep these pieces too, because you can always use these if you are trying to build up, say, a front cover. You know, if you're trying to build some layers and you need to put something higher up. So let's say this is an element. You've got something that's this high. This is, you know, not at all. And you need something that's going to be more accurate. You could put, you know, these things down, glue them down, and, you know, say lift that. So if you have something that you can put these in to just hang on to, they can help you build up elements on your covers if you want. All right. I'm going to set this aside. Maybe we'll use some of the other little pieces. All right, so that's something. I pulled this out because I thought maybe I'd fussy cut that mustache off. I don't know what I might use it for. I grabbed this paper. This is, oh, well, I don't know what this is. Is this like some stuff I got on a cherry on top? I don't see a front page, so maybe it's something that I got from, I don't know, Shein, or I don't know, Temu. But I thought ripping something off of here might be fun. Could add a little color with this. That was my first thought. But then this is so pretty, isn't it? You can incorporate some blue in there. I'm leaning towards this because I'm really liking that blue there. So let's go with that piece. Then I grabbed some of these that they're a no-name brand. These little people folks that we can kind of color if we want. We could give a guy a really big mustache. Wouldn't that be fun? Well, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know. Look how cute that is. It's a thought. I'm just going to set these aside, but it's a thought. And then I grabbed some of these other no-name things as just kind of something to add. You know, maybe, like I said, I'm going to put a little blue on here, so maybe we add another little piece of some blue. I don't know. Or maybe we add something a little bit you know, some more something that's round. Could add some more of that color. Add something smaller. Let's do this, this, or that. That might be a little too big. But those are in the running. Or we could make it a little bit grungier. Okay, let me put these away. Okay, and then I also pulled these. These are just some papers that we could put on here. I don't know if you noticed, but I've put a little bit of gesso on here for two reasons. One is just in case we decide to get that wet with some ink or paint, and also to kind of lighten the background a little bit. Gesso is great for that. Now what's nice about these is these can make the tag look a little bit older. Just like these, you know, people would make the tag look a little older. These are a little too big, though they could be ripped. But I think I would lean towards something like that. Although I love that color. But let's go with that one if we choose. If we so choose. And then to color the chipboard, I rarely use uncolored chipboard. You can, absolutely can, but I rarely do. I pulled out a couple of my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils just to see what color I wanted to use, and I do like this blue here, and I'm going to pull this blue out, and then I am just going to grab this and just put a little water right here. There, that should be enough. And just get, if you haven't tried using these watercolor pencils, they're fun. So all I do is I get the pencil wet, and then I just kind of start playing with it. And you don't want the chipboard to get too wet. See, I may have gotten it too wet there, but that's okay because probably gonna make this look a little bit older by coming in with maybe a rusty red, maybe that brick red right there, and maybe a little bit of black. So I want to kind of match that blue in this paper, but I also want it to look old. So we can kind of make this blue look more like a patina. We could add some of that green to it. Isn't that a pretty blue? Can you see that? So nice. Makes me want to color a lot of things with it. I wonder how these would work, coloring in some of these, the people things that we all love. This is a little bit time consuming. So right now I may speed this up. Okay. Isn't that pretty? I really like it as it is, but I want it to go with the theme, so I am going to come in with a little bit of brick red. If I can get this out of here. Whoops. I like leaving that in. Just have to be careful not to take the cardboard off of this. All right, that'll work. That works for me. Probably should have used like a brown. Okay, so let's kind of figure out what we want to do here. All right, I'm really like digging all this here, but I'm also digging this. So what if we, yeah. So I do want this to look a little distressed, so of course I'm ripping this all the wrong way. But that's okay, because I will ink all of these edges here before gluing this down. Let's do, what have we got? Let's do walnut stain. This paper, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a finish to it. It's not glossy, but there's definitely a finish. It's not a big deal, but now that could very easily go like this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ink the back side because I think I'm going to have this kind of hanging off the side here. And because it's a tag that you'll pull out of a pocket, and you'll see the back of, I would very much like the back to look good. Now, if we were to go like that, now wad that up, and I will ink this. And then, I love that I just put a little tear in that. Ink all the edges. And then wherever there's a fold, there's one. Just kind of ink that just to make it look even older. And you know, you could even go like this. I don't know which one I want to use now. And you know what? These people might be too big. I may need to get a smaller little person. For this. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to grab a smaller person. All right, I decided on these little things. So, all right, so I think I think I want to put the picture here. And in that case, I will have this picture right here facing inward. I'm gonna just cut this. And then I am going to use a Sharpie to outline this so it looks at least a little bit like the other sides here. I suppose I could have just cut it straight up. All right, that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right. So now because it does have that black edge, I am not going to ink that. So I do want to put her kind of like right there, I think. Now, I don't need the mustache. Maybe the next one. Now, I do think that the background needs a little bit of color. So, I am going to maybe do a little bit of smushing. A little bit of smushing. You know what I'm talking about, right? Little bit of smushing. Oh, that didn't want to work, did it? There we go. And the gesso should help this not become a wet mess. So I am just kind of, you know, very nice. Okay. I'm going to speed up when I'm drying so that you don't hear this, or I'll take it right out. Actually, I'm going to pause. Okay, now this is how this dried. So now I've put down some brushed corduroy. By the way, I'm using some braille paper to pick up the excess. And I will reuse that at some point in the future. I think one of my favorite things to do is this smushing with the Distress inks. It really is. I just, I don't know, something about it, it's fun. Okay, I'm going to pause and dry that real quick, and one more color. Okay, now we're going to go with Chip Sapphire. I'm hoping this isn't going to be too dark. So just adding a little bit more water than I normally would, I think. I'll just kind of tap lightly and see what happens. Oh, I made a smushy mess right there. That's okay. Oops. the beauty of this is that you can, if you wipe fast enough, if you don't like the color, you can get rid of it. Kind of. All right, gonna dry. All right, so we're dry. Now, I forgot to put these on. Whoops, I've gotten a sweat. Because I'm a dopey dope. It's not too late to add them. So, yes, it definitely needs to be in between there. I kind of feel like that needs to be there. I feel like the price needs to be on here because it's a layaway tag. And I also want to do some splatters. And I want them to be gold. This is my go-to, as you can tell. I don't know why it's ripped off. I think it must have gotten really wet. And the wetness threatened to contaminate these with the other colors. So yeah, I think that's what happened. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get these attached. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac, I think. And I don't want these to be glued down perfectly. You know, I want them to kind of, the edges to be, okay. I want the edges to kind of stick up a little bit. And maybe after I've got it down, I want to like put something under it, you know? Just gonna do this. Just do a couple sides there. Whoopsie. Got a little, wow. Got a little something going on with this. Whoops. There we go. Well, I didn't mean for all that glue to come out. All right, and now she's gonna go here. This is gonna go over here. Whoops. Let's move you over a little bit. Okay, Mr. Man. Get you there and there. Now, I do not want the gold on her face or this, so I am going to do that. I always use a fan brush. I put way too much water in there. Out of dope. I'm just going to contaminate this one a little bit to get a little bit darker gold in there. That'll do it. Now I've got to dry this, so I'll pause you. Okay. So as I was drying, my little 349 thing was lifting. All right, I'm gonna put her down. I was just thinking, hope nobody thinks she's on layaway. She ain't for sale, folks. She's the one that put something on layaway, right? Right. There we go. You go right here, pretty lady. And then look at this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna try and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the Barely Art glue. I just feel like that Fabri-Tac is gonna go all over the place if I try and get it. One sec. Hubs just came down and said peekaboo. I don't know if you heard it. I told him I was recording, so I am going to try and get glue everywhere on this because I want the whole thing to stick down. I don't want it to lift at all. I'm curious if any of you have ever put Fabri-Tac in one of these little glue bottles with this tiny metal tip, and if you did, how it worked. Because I'd like to try that. I'm just not sure, you know, what, if anything, it'll do. Will it clog? Will it work? Do you get a nice thin line? Do tell. All right. All right, folks, I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is our tag. This is using some chipboard and a tag that I never use, just getting rid of some stuff that is kind of buried and I never pull out. So there you have it. You can always add a couple more pieces of that chipboard around if you want to. Probably could have added a little piece of fabric. Lots you can do here. And now, see how I edged that? You can see that on the back. All right, there you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And thank you for everything you do to support my channel. Have a great day. Bye.